This objective will be covered in 2 parts. At the end of this Part 2 video, you should be able to fully compare the characteristics of the outer planets. Uranus. Uranus, shown here, is the 7th planet from the Sun and the 3rd largest planet in the solar system. Sir William Herschel discovered Uranus in 1781. Because Uranus is nearly 3 billion kilometers from the Sun, Uranus is difficult to study. But the Hubble Space Telescope has taken images that show changes in Uranus's atmosphere. Uranus has at least 24 moons and at least 11 thin rings. Its orbital period is almost 84 years. Uranus's rotation. The most distinctive feature of Uranus is its unusual orientation. Most planets, including Earth, rotate with their axes perpendicular to their orbital planes as they revolve around the Sun. However, Uranus's axis is almost parallel to the plane of its orbit. The rotation rate of Uranus was not discovered until 1986, when Voyager 2 passed by Uranus. Astronomers were then able to determine that Uranus rotated once every 17 hours. Uranus's atmosphere. Like the other gas giants, Uranus has an atmosphere that contains mainly hydrogen and helium. The blue-green color of Uranus indicates that the atmosphere also contains significant amounts of methane. The average cloud top temperature of Uranus is negative 214 degrees Celsius. However, astronomers believe that the planet's temperature is much higher below the clouds. There may be a mixture of liquid water and methane beneath the atmosphere. Scientists also think that the center of Uranus, which has a temperature of about 7,000 degrees Celsius, is a core made of rock and melted elements. Neptune. Neptune, shown here, is the 8th planet from the Sun and is similar to Uranus in size and mass. Neptune's orbital period is nearly 164 years, and the planet rotates about every 16 hours. Neptune has at least 13 moons and 6 rings. The discovery of Neptune. Neptune's existence was predicted before Neptune was actually discovered. After Uranus was discovered, astronomers noted variations from its calculated orbit. They suspected that the gravity of an unknown planet was responsible for the variation. In the mid-1800s, John Couch Adams, who was an English mathematician, and Urbain Le Verrier, who was a French astronomer, independently calculated the position of the unknown planet. A German astronomer, Johann Galle, discovered a bluish-green disk where Le Verrier had predicted the planet would be. Astronomers named the planet Neptune after the Roman god of the sea. Neptune's atmosphere. Data from the Voyager 2 spacecraft indicate that Neptune's atmosphere is made up mostly of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Neptune's upper atmosphere contains some white clouds of frozen methane. These clouds appear as continually changing bands between the equator and the poles of Neptune. Images taken by Voyager 2 and the Hubble Space Telescope indicate that Neptune has active weather systems. Neptune has the solar system's strongest winds, which exceed 1,000 kilometers per hour. A storm that is the size of Earth, and that is now known as the Great Dark Spot, appeared and disappeared on Neptune's surface. Neptune's average cloud top temperature is about negative 225 degrees Celsius. At this point, you should be able to fully compare the characteristics of the outer planets.